How the heck are everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. So if you remember about a month ago during Black Friday, we had two specific deals in the shop. These were 100% pay-to-win deals, but they gave you a guaranteed legendary hero from two different factions. There was one for the Piercer faction and one for the Northerner. Well, for Christmas and then New Year's, we are getting two new packs of a very similar variety. So you can see we're going to get one coming on Christmas Eve, this coming Sunday, 12/24. That will be for the Infernal faction, the last faction. And then on New Year's Eve, we'll be getting one for the Cursed Cult, so to get a legendary Cultist. So these are 100% guaranteed legendary hero packed cards specific to those factions, 100% pay to win, only going to be available for cash money, W golds, that kind of thing. However, we think it's pretty cool to track that kind of stuff. If you remember, when that stuff came out during Black Friday, Seamus and I tracked all the results, and the results were shocking in a pretty nice way, in a way that I found very encouraging. So, of course, we're going to track them again now. We got even more organized. You can see we have this beautiful Cultist pack, Infernal pack project. More on that in just 1 second. Let's hop on in.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
So I figure let's start off going back in time and looking at the results from our Piercer pack project. God, say that 10 times. Piercer pack project, Piercer pack project, Piercer pack project, and our Northerner packed project. So if we go here, you can see this is where we logged the data. It's a bit messy, as you can see, but what you need to key in on is on these tables. I actually cleaned it up a bit over here, so now you guys can see a bit better. We've got these pie charts behind me. I'll move myself a little smaller so you can see better. And then we have these numbers over here, which were the actual results. So let me just walk you through that oh so quickly. If you want to see, I have a full video explaining all of that. So just search that Piercer pack project. Oh my God, it's hard to say. Search that on my channel and you will find it. But here's the long of the short of the long. Call it what you want to call it. For the Northerner pack, it was far less popular. It was different. They released both of these at the same time, and the Piercer pack was juicier. There was more great heroes, S-tier heroes to hit on, right? The Piercer pack had Hex, Silas, and Aracha. The Northerner pack, the only really exciting one, maybe, I guess, would be King Hearts. I don't know. Nocturne is good. Brokir is good. Valkyria is good. But none of these heroes are like, wow, game-breaking, whereas like Aracha, game-breaking. Silas, game-breaking. Hex, amazing, borderline game-breaking, right? Really incredible heroes. So as you can see, 152 submissions for the Piercer packs, only 44 for the Northerner packs. And then you can see our distribution kind of adjusted with the larger sample. So 44 submissions, that's a very small sample size, but you can see pretty encouraging. This number here, this 16.66%, that was the expected rate if assuming an even distribution, which was, that was our null hypothesis we're testing, right? Will it be an even distribution? And you can see things in red were outside of the margin of error, things in green were above. So we had four things that went beyond on the variance, went outside the margin of error, but there were only 44 results. The entire range was between an 11.36% chance to get Sadie or Shamir, and then all the way up to a 25% chance to get Nocturne. But I really think these numbers, the skew is because of this tiny selection, not too much to get. Only 44 submissions, a small sample size. If you look here at the pie chart, you can see nice big slice of Nocturne, fairly smaller slice of Shamir and Valkyria. I really like these pie charts. It makes it a lot easier to visualize. Let's zoom in a bit because let's focus on the Piercer. This is going to be the more interesting one, and I hope we get even better results for the Infernal pack and the Cultist pack. Especially the Infernal pack is a really, really good pack, as I'm going to discuss shortly. Granted, you got to spend a ton of money, but if you're a spender, it's a good pack. I'm not going to get it, obviously. So here you can see we had 152 submissions, so many, many more, like about 3.5 times more submissions. And here, because there was an extra hero that was available, so here there are only 6 options, here there were 7, the expected rate would have been 14.29%, and our range was nice and tight, 11.84% to 17.76%. And with a margin of error where we're presuming plus or minus 3%, because it still was a fairly small, that was just our kind of chosen margin of error, because it's a small sample size. You can see only Absent and Hex were outliers. This is really interesting. This basically, I think, proves, we'd need way more submissions, and hopefully we get that this time to definitively prove it, but it shows it was an even distribution. The max we saw was 18. The minimum we saw was 18. The max was 27. I think this is because 152 still isn't that many. Very tight range, right? That range is with under 6% range. So not so much variance here. And what's really notable on both of them, you can see I underlined and bolded King Hearts and Aracha. Both of them fell comfortably within the margin of error, very close to the expected numbers you would have liked to see. So no kind of penalized rates. It's very nice to see an even distribution among the non-legendary Lord heroes. It was very generous, I think. I mean, generous, you're spending a ton of money. But very cool to see them actually make the rates even as well with those legendary lords. If we now look, let me scroll over to this nice pie chart. This was for the piercers. Without looking too hard, it almost looks like perfectly even slices. When you look in a bit, was Hex a bit bigger? Was, who's the small one? Absent a bit smaller? Yeah, when you see them side by side. But if you just kind of glance at it, it's a fairly, 7 subsections, seven fairly even slices of the pizza pie. So all in all, pretty cool stuff. And I really think these are pretty good packs. They're coming in the holiday season for the Infernal Cultist stuff. We already set this up. You see all these error messages. That's because we have this form over here that I'll break down for you guys. All the information you guys submit will feed directly into this for Seamus and I. And it's going to be pretty cool to see how the tracking all works. So let's talk about it right now. Let's actually look at the form. So the form we're working with here, actually, you know what I really have to do? We got to go into the game so I can really show you something and explain something in proper detail. So let me turn off this window capture. Let's head into the game and let's go to the gallery. Actually, we got to zoom out even further, I'm realizing. Let's turn that window capture back on. Before we go to the gallery, to explain this perfectly, I need to go back to Facebook and look at this picture. So if you look at this picture here, it says Infernal Blast can get Twin Fiend, Nocturne, Sealatu, Setrum, Hex, and then Curse Cult can get Morrigan, Lasir, Rhea, Cerberus, Virna, and then we have these little ... dots. Those ... dots are not there by accident. It's saying you can get those 5 or the other ones they choose to include in the pack. So now we can head into the game before we head into the sheet, and I can explain who I think those will be based on what we saw from the Piercer pack and from the Northerner pack. So if we go to Northerner, the heroes that were included: King Hearts, Nocturne, Valkyria, Shamir, Sadie, and Brokir. The heroes that were not included: Elder, Elder, Falsia, and Ardia. And these kind of articulate the 3 kinds of heroes that I do not think will get included. Ardia is Ancients exclusive, so not a normal hero. You can only get her from Ancient Summoning. Elder, Ancient Legendary Lord exclusive, a Legendary Lord that can only be obtained through Ancient Summoning, as opposed to King Hearts, who can be obtained from both Ancient Summoning and Normal Summoning. Then Falsia, Limited Banner, right? Exclusive hero only available on that 250 guaranteed 10x banner. We now go as well to the Star Piercers. Similar case. There was no exclusive hero here, but the heroes that were included were Aracha, Nyx, Calypso, Absyn, Silas, Hex, and Razak. At the time, Pelagios and Kai were not in the game, so that doesn't count. But the one hero that was excluded, Sargok, Ancient exclusive hero, right? You can't get him from normal summon. So just like Ardia or Elder, he's only available from Ancient Summoning. So if we go now to the Curse Cult, let's start there. Who do I think will be included? It's going to be more than those 5 because we saw that ... It's going to be Morrigan. It is going to be Lasir, Zealous, Kriya, Cerberus, and Virna. That is what I suspect. Now, why did I reject the other ones? Demi, same story as Elder, right? She's an Ancient Legendary Lord exclusive, a Legendary Lord that can only be gotten through Ancients, as opposed to Morrigan, who can be gotten through all of them. Reeve, just like Falsia, Reeve was a limited hero, 250 guaranteed hero, exclusive. I didn't get him, breaks my heart every day. 10x event, right? If we go here to Dirtza and Carnelian, they're just like Ardia again, right? Ancient exclusive heroes. So not 100%, but I predict they will be excluded. So it will be those 6: Morrigan, Lasir, Zealous, Kriya, Cerberus, and Virna. Now if we go to Infernal Blast, same story. Twin Fiend will be in it. Zealatu, Setrum, Aelin, and Hex, and then I think a Nocturne, I presume. He was in the Northern pack, but he does have the dual faction. I do think Soul Cadens obviously will not be in it the same way that Elder wasn't in the Northern pack. I don't think Demi's going to be in this pack, in the Cultist pack, and I do not think Soul Cadens will be, whereas Twin Fiend will. Soul Cadens is the Ancient exclusive Legendary Lord. So now we have covered all our sweet, sweet bases. How about we head in and we actually look back at the window capture and I explain this form. Let's wrap this thing up pretty quickly. If we look at the form, this is the Fastidious Infernal Cultist pack. project. It's made by me and, of course, Seamus. So big shout out to Seamus. He helps me so much. He's so good at this data aggregation. Basically, all you're going to do, you put your name in, so the name on your account. So for me, it would be Fastidious. I'm obviously not going to do this because I'm not buying the pack, but I'm just giving you an example. And then your Discord name, mine is Fastidious1. And then you'll probably have to do this in 2 submissions, or you can just wait because these are released on staggered weekends. We get the first pack, we get this weekend. The next pack we'll get on New Year's week, right? So we're going to get Infernal this weekend, this Christmas Eve weekend on Sunday. And then the next Sunday on New Year's Eve, that weekend, that is when we'll get the Cultist pack. So you can do it, just do it twice and do double submissions. That's fine if you just don't want to have to remember and do it all at the end. Or you can just do it all once, if you're going to buy both packs, that is. I would say just do it as you go. We can track the data and sort for double submissions, right? It's fine. You'll go here, and then you'll click who you got, and then we have other. Why is other here? Because we're pretty darn sure we know who's going to be in these packs, but it's not confirmed. Could they add Orem in this pack? Could he be in the ... It's possible. Do I think it's going to happen? No, right? Like Alora is a Piercer, but she didn't appear in the Piercer pack because she was a brand new hero. So it's super possible that it will be the same deal with Orem, right? He's a brand new hero this coming weekend. Maybe they won't put it in the pack, but maybe they will, and we'll write Orem. It's also possible once we know this, we can amend this and we can add the button. Otherwise, you just click, oh, I got Zeal 2. There you go, right? So there you have it. And then for Curse Cult, you'll see we do have Captain Reef here because we can't definitively say he won't be included, but we're probably just going to take him out once we confirm that. Is there a chance they include Carnelian or something? It's possible. I don't think so. I think really it's going to be these 6, Morrigan, Lasir, Kriya, Cerberus, Virna, and Zealous. I don't think there's going to be Captain Reeve. I don't think there's going to be any of the special chaotic ones like Carnelian and Dirtza. And then over here, I do think it's going to be exactly these 6, right? Twin Fiend, Nocturne, Seal2, Setrum, Hex, and Aelin. So no Soul Cadens and no Orem. That's what I predict. It's as simple as that. You do it and you click submit, and now we have the data. It's going to feed immediately into this sheet where we have the error messages currently, but the data will start to populate the sheet. And before you know it, we're going to have a beautiful little thing going on. So guys, it's a fun little thing we're doing. Just, you know, we like to track data and track the rates. If you're interested in participating, just keep this in mind. The link will be in the description of the video. The first pack goes live in 3 days on Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to you guys. And the next pack, the Infernal, so the first pack's the Infernal pack. That's on Christmas Eve. The next pack, the Cultist pack, will go live on New Year's Eve, so next Sunday. Happy holidays to everyone. Much love. I've been Fastidious. Big thank you to Seamus. If you like my stuff, like it. Get in the comments if you have any questions. Subscribe. Share it with your mother. Wish her happy holidays from me. I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.